Just want to share my thoughts after working this weekend at the hospital. I recorded a previous video when I was at my lunch, which is such a rarity. And I was, of course, interrupted during my lunch time, my unpaid lunch. And I just thought, what is going on with me in this job? I'm just losing my shit working at the hospital. And I thought, what's happening to me? And I was listening to some Eckhart Tolle talk on YouTube, and it's always helpful to put me back into an awareness instead of getting into a rant and blaming, the big corporations and the hospitals and the greed and all that stuff, and just look at what's going on for me. And I would say that when I'm in a state of hurry, constant interruptions, like the phone rings for me, the doctor sends me a text and says, hey, you need to get the orthostatic vitals. I get a call. On the call, like, this patient's in pain. And then I get another tech comes up to me and she says, like, so-and-so's throwing up, they need medicine. This person's blood is done. It's like everything at once. It just comes at you, like, constantly. If you're lucky, you have a tech that's you're working with that really helps you and makes the day at least somewhat manageable. But even that, it's still almost an unmanageable situation. And it's just the intense emotion when humans are dealing with their body and the failings of their body, and it's like the worst ego threat you can have. And so people are fearful, they're angry, they're demanding, they're entitled, they're impatient. The doctors, they're putting all these orders. They put orders in left and right, and I'm just supposed to like fill them all, and there's 6 people, and I'm with them for 12 and a half hours. And so there's just like the diabetics that are trying to get like sugary snacks, and like I'm like saying, no, you can't do that while you're in the hospital. That's the reason why you're here. Your blood sugar's out of control. And then they're pissed at me, and it's just, and then I just walked into some room. It wasn't even my patient. The lady was trying to jump out of bed. I walk in, and the patient and her mother are both in there sobbing. And I'm just like, if the humanity's been beat out of me. Like, I literally don't have time to like deal with why you two are crying. And I'm trying to like be present, find out what's going on. And I'm thinking I have 5 things on my back to do. Somebody's in pain, somebody's throwing up. And it's just this, every day I start my day with this intention to just stay present, stay in the moment, breathe, don't walk too fast, stay conscious, don't get triggered. And every day I lose that because I'm so pressed and pushed. It's, I guess for me individually, I have some story in my childhood where I was, had a grandparent that was an alcoholic, and he was very disconnected from his power, his own personal power, and sought to get the power through me, and, pressured me to call him, tell him I love him. And then if I didn't, was told I wasn't being a good grandchild, and I needed to do this, I need to do that. One time he left the house with a gun, said he was going to kill himself because, we didn't show up to Christmas on time. I grew up in this soup, like, I owe it to other people to like fix their disconnection, to fix their dis-ease, and so I'm in this environment in the hospital where I'm like, quote, fixing everybody's dis-ease. And it might be somewhat doable if it was like at a normal, healthy pace, and I could sort of breathe some level of empowerment and truth back into those people, because I really, I like to do that, even if it pisses them off. Because the medical system set up the way it is now, where patients are literally like dependent upon their doctor and medicines and surgeries to like fix their dis-ease. It's not even a doable system, and it's very disempowering for the patient. And the thing is if a person's not ready to be empowered and to take responsibility and to find that power within themselves and, restore their health, I mean, you can't force them. And it's like being around people like that, which is like a majority of the patients. It's like being around my alcoholic grandfather, where they literally are demanding and sucking from you. And I was in a patient's room, and I'm in the middle of trying to get this IV fixed and get this fluid going in her. And she's literally rattling off 5 things that she wants. I mean, and I'm just like, I can't even keep up with all her demands. And I just literally like losing my shit. And I just like literally just told her, I said, look, you just rattled off 5 things. This is, I'm just, let me finish your IV, please. And she got mad. Oh, okay, well, never mind. And you know, it's like, I'm in the business of like assuaging people's egos. And it is, I'm just somebody that people suck off of and beat on. And it's just, it's killing me. The stress is so astronomical. And I leave there and I'm just absolutely stressed to the hilt and angry. And this model, how it's set up for how nurses are supposed to function in the hospital and like what our role is it's not even doable. It's not feasible. I think a person, if they stay, they become really, really sick. Or they are fucking Buddhas, okay? They're just fucking enlightened people. And I'm not that, okay? I'm not that at all. Or they leave because it's, I don't know. I listened to this one ICU nurse who came up to help me with one of my patients, and she was just like, yeah, we had like 3 people, 3 to 1 in the ICU during this like time in our city where we had a snowstorm. And then she was like, yeah, it was awful. And I said, that sounds horrible and stressful and actually dangerous. And she says, yeah, it was. And then almost as soon as she finished saying that, she says, but you know, we got through it and it's okay. And I just looked at her and I said, wow, you know, nurses just gaslight themselves. Management gaslights us. We gaslight ourselves. I mean, you can at least just say it was terrible. It was terrifying. I was exhausted and just leave it at that. But I think it's a survival technique that we do. We gaslight ourselves. It's like an abused woman, you know, after her husband beats the shit out of her, he tells her he'll never do it again. And she just convinces herself, oh yeah, you're right. He's just the only time he's done it, or he was just upset. You know, it's just a gaslighting thing. And but as far as bringing it back home into this conscious process, where like notice the sensation in my body, and then notice as it starts rising up into the head and it starts to tell a story, and it's like I get hit so fast in the body, like a feeling of terror and stress of like, oh my god, I've got to do 5 things at the same time. My body, it's like so freaking impossible to like not let it ride up into my brain, because pretty soon here comes the bitching, and I get into a victim mentality. I feel like a martyr. I feel like a punching bag, and I just keep staying, because then I tell myself, well, where else am I going to go? I gaslight myself. Where else are you going to go? What else are you going to do? And anyways, this has been a very, very difficult thing, and all the nurses that I work with, all of them absolutely hate it, and they're all like have physical ailments from the stress. Many of them are quitting, and I thought, gosh, you know, I've been a nurse for 29 years, and I've only worked in the hospital for the last almost 3 years, and it's horrible, and I don't know how it's sustainable, and I don't see that in 29 years it's changed. It's actually gotten worse. More and more and more responsibility falls onto the nurse, and I know the young ones coming in, they're like, fuck this. I'm going to go make TikTok videos and make money, you know? I don't know, but just people need to be empowered. People need to be empowered and not dependent on a system, because that's something that it'll break its back. It's already breaking its back. And I mean, isn't it like $1 trillion or something like that goes for the medical in this country, and people are sicker than ever, so it's definitely not even working. So that's just my take on this weekend. It was a very, very rough weekend, and I lost my shit. It started to spill over to the patients, and that's what I don't like. I like to be compassionate. I like to breathe empowerment and truth to them in a kind, soft way. But I'm getting to where I need to remove myself, because I don't want it to. Yeah, it's breaking my health. That's all I have.